Today, we're following this for you. We begin with that wild winter storm sweeping across the state, from a deadly crash in Box Elder County, causing major delays.
And widespread power outages affecting more than 13,000 people in West Jordan. An update on that coming shortly. But even the Salt Lake International Airport is seeing interruptions from this storm, reporting dozens of flights now delayed. We want to show you a live look from flight tracking website FlightAware, showing the airplanes taking off and landing at Salt Lake International Airport right now. A lot going on today. Our ABC4 team of live reporters are across the state, bringing you the latest weather conditions in their area and in your area. Kate Gardner is up north, tracking some of those wet, slick roads. ABC4's Jonathan May is in West Jordan on those power outages, and our southern Utah correspondent Cannon Seacrest is with emergency crews. They're prepared to help where needed. So a lot going on. First, we're going to bring in our chief meteorologist, Alana Brophy. She's live in the ABC4 backyard with the latest on the storms. Alana, what can you tell us?
Brian, Sarah, I am live in the Weather Center, and we have been tracking these storms. We're taking that live view from Park City. You're watching where our reporters are. Came inside, and we are looking now at that Park City camera on Weather 1, and you're going to notice that snow out there. So we are seeing snow in the high country, and that's something we've been watching very closely. Some of our valleys holding on to cold air, and with that, we have seen valley accumulation continuing. As you look at our Park City camera, we've watched the winds blowing that snow. Southwesterly flow favors certain areas, and as a result, heavier totals are expected. Winter storm warnings are in effect throughout the entire state for the mountains. The Wasatch Back also underneath the winter storm warning. These will hold until Saturday. Taking a look now at that Logan camera, you're able to see in Cache Valley that valley snow is coming down and sticking in the valleys where we have cold air holding steady. Cache Valley, one of the areas underneath a winter weather advisory, and new this evening, Salt Lake County and the Utah Valley area added to that winter weather advisory that is in effect until 11 p.m. We also have South Central Utah, Castle Country, the Western Uinta Basin, so several areas where we have cold air, and we're watching that snow. As we look right now, that live camera from Lehigh shows the Utah County area where, yes, we have been dealing with that snow in the Utah Valley area. Southwesterly flow loves Utah County, the Ogden Valley, and Cache Valley. Forewarn radar sweeping the region, and you can see in northern Utah that we've got that snow holding steady. As we zoom in from Logan to Ogden, snowy conditions have persisted. That's where we find our very own Kate Garner. He joins us live from northern Utah. Kate, it has been a very snowy day in the northern portion of the state. How are the roads tonight?
Yeah, Lana, they are a little bit dicey. I don't know if you can tell just how much it's snowing right now. The snow is coming in. It's very light, very small, but it's very deceiving. Now, normally, right now behind me, you would be able to see a really terrific view of Ben Lomond Peak. Obviously, all we're looking at is a wall of gray. It has looked like this, I want to say, since at least noon. Now, this type of weather, this type of storm, comes with both pros and cons. The driver of this truck is lucky to have not hit anyone after sliding into an intersection while trying to stop at a red light.
Drive for the conditions that you're in.
Take a look at this Google map. It shows how bad road conditions were in the area around 2 o'clock. I-15 was at a standstill after a car ran into the back of a semi-truck, killing the driver.
Slowing down, keeping plenty of distance between you and the car in front of you, so if you have to make an emergency maneuver, if you have to stop quickly, you'll be able to do that without causing a crash.
Mitch Shaw with UDOT says this year has been pretty calm, but with a storm like this,
we're out there doing our best to keep the roads clear, but you have to do your part too and drive safely and just be prepared for the weather that you're in.
I know a lot of people don't like to drive in it, but that's pretty much my only downside. Everything else is brilliant. I just love the snow.
Some may not be excited for the winter roads, but this storm brings some relief.
I have been kind of bummed because I hike every single Friday religiously.
Even the prospect of getting a few inches of fresh powder, she says, has the whole hiking group excited.
We're just in heaven because the snow is so fun, and it's like we've got our spikes on and everything. The other days it just kind of feels like everything's dead around you, and it's kind of a bummer because part of the sport of it is having snow in the winter.
Okay, so up here on the bench again, it's been snowing basically since noon. They plowed this street that I'm at right now, I want to say around 3 o'clock, and there's probably about an inch that's already stacked back up. So it's really just coming down. I imagine that'll make summer's hike terrific tomorrow. But again, if you have to drive tonight, because the snow just keeps coming, slow it down just a little. Reporting live in Ogden, Kate Garner. Back to you, Alana.
Thank you, Kate. Always boots on the ground. We know that winter weather advisory for the area Cade's in will hold until 11 p.m. Happening now, we do have a car fire on I-15. We want to take that live view for you, and you're going to notice this is happening near Linden. The car is on fire. Traffic very, very slow. As a result, emergency crews on scene, but evolving while we have a wintry commute out there right now. Live view again from Linden, southbound I-15. As we look at the radar once again, I'm going to show you Salt Lake County, and you're going to notice from Davis County into Utah County, it shows up as snow. Now, with a southwesterly flow at times, Salt Lake into Tooele County can actually get rain shadowed by the Oquirrh Mountains. Some of that has spilled over today, but the totals in Salt Lake won't be as high as what we were seeing from Cade. Let's check in with our very own Jonathan May. He's out live in the field in Salt Lake County, and Jonathan's been tracking conditions locally, also some power outages in the area.
Yeah, that's right, Alana. Roll. Right now, the wind is whipping. It is freezing out here. But you mentioned those power outages. Over in West Jordan, you can expect delays. And if you keep heading south, you can expect more delays. Well, that's because hours ago, over 13,000 homes had no power in West Jordan and surrounding areas. With the weather, rush hour traffic, and some stoplights going out, Rocky Mountain Power tells me, called them on the phone earlier today, that it took an hour to get their repair worker out there. But they now fixed the issue. They say it was not weather related, even though with these conditions, they thought at first it was. But with the traffic lights out earlier, the commute looks to be a longer one tonight. And for people heading to Provo, police say snowplows are doing the best they can, but they're dealing with slippery roads, especially on steep hills and benches. And just pulling up my GPS tonight to give you a sense of how busy it is on these roads. It looks like from here, West Jordan to Provo, it'd take about nearly 2 hours to get there. So a lot of busy, a lot of things going on our roads tonight. Lana, I'm gonna toss it over back to you now.
Thank you, Jonathan. We know the wind is the big takeaway there. Jonathan, you could hear it on his microphone. That southwesterly flow really does bring those whipping winds and bringing in some warmer air. As we look at the radar and head further south, I-15 getting some wet weather. Where you're seeing pink, this is mixed precipitation. In green, it's rain. We did see flurries in Washington County. And you know, in the southwestern corner of the state, it's been 76 days since they've received measurable moisture in St. George. Emergency crews were ready and standing by, and our very own Kenan Seacrest shows us that story tonight.
The snow is piling up in the mountains, and down here in St. George, we're seeing some snow, but mostly rain. And while flooding isn't a major concern this time around, county officials say travel could still be impacted, especially in remote areas. Southern Utah has been in a severe drought, meaning the ground is absorbing a lot of the moisture. Washington County Emergency Manager Jason Bradley says that's helping to reduce the risk of flash flooding, at least for now.
Right now, we're just so dry, anything's going to get soaked up almost immediately, we think. And we could use a heck of a lot more. And we do every year get that flooding, but this year we've been so dry that we're a ways away from having that happen yet. So.
While flooding may not be a big concern, officials are urging hikers to be careful, especially in slot canyons. When a storm like this moves through, water can rush in quickly, creating a dangerous situation.
So if you're in a slot canyon and you're not prepared for that water coming down, which you can't really be because it's a narrow canyon, you can easily get swept downstream, and there's not really a whole lot that we can do for you at that point, other than, hope that you're lucky.
Washington County officials are urging residents to stay updated on road conditions and storm impacts by signing up for the emergency alerts, and you can register for those at 911register.com to receive critical notifications straight to your phone. Reporting in Southern Utah, Kenan Seacrest, ABC 4 News.
Cannon in the rain in Washington County, and wet weather holding on. With the warmer temperatures moving in, we will see snow transitioning to rain, but check out the next several hours along the Wasatch Front. Wet weather looks likely, with this being the heaviest window of precipitation from north to south. We have boots on the ground, and we're going to continue to keep you forewarned. What's in store for your Valentine's Day? I'll tell you coming up in just a few minutes in my full forecast. Brian, Sarah, back to you.